Hello everyone, this is Ashmita and here we are solving the CSAT paper of 2023 and here we are going to solve a couple of questions. And if you want to prepare for any kind of entrance exams or any kind of government job preparation you're doing, then you can join our classes for that. For knowing about all the details regarding the classes, you can just check the description box below this video. Thank you. Now let's come back to the question discussion. We have to consider the following statements. We have statement 1 and statement 2. Now, statement 1 says interest income from the deposits in the infrastructure investment trusts distributed to the investors is exempted from tax, but the dividend is taxable. Okay, so infrastructure investment trusts or INVIT is what we call it in its short form. They are the type of investment vehicle that is similar to a mutual fund. So, the Securities and Exchange Board of India is in charge of this type of an investment. Now, the units of these trusts, which are called the INVITs, are listed on different places to trade, such as stock exchanges. So, INVITs are a mix of the equity instruments and debt instruments also. Coming to the second statement. Now INVITs, I'm saying INVITs. INVITs are recognized as borrowers under the securitization and reconstruction of financial assets and enforcement of Security Interest Act 2002. So investments are like INVITs, they are a mix of equity instruments and equity instruments and debt instruments. So INVITs are set up to get the investors to put their money into the infrastructure sector. These types of investments can take money from several investors and put it into things that can make money. So the cash flow is given back to the investors as dividend income over here. When compared to real estate investment trusts or REITs, INVITs are similar in how they are set up and how they work. So basically, we can see that there are two types of return on investment. Um, First is the dividend income and another is the capital gains. So, talking about the tax treatment of each of these incomes, first there is tax on dividend and interest income. Now, tax on dividend and interest income, any kind of dividend or interest income from an INVIT investment is taxed at the individual income tax slab rate. Like every year, investors must report this income on their income tax return. On the other hand, there is this capital gains tax. Capital gains tax means an investor only has to pay the capital gains tax if they sell their INVIT's units. Or then comes the short term capital gains, that is STCG tax, which is 15% on the income from the sale of INVIT's units held for up to 3 years. Then there are long term capital gains also. There is long term capital gains tax of around 10%, which is charged on the sale of the INVITs units, which are held for more than 3 years if the income is more than 1 lakh. So, yeah, statement 1 over here is not correct. Hence, we can say that statement 1 is not correct. Let's see what options are given here. They have given that both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. No, Both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct, and statement 2 is not the correct explanation for statement 1. No. Statement 1 is correct. No. Statement 1 is incorrect, but statement 2 is correct. Yes. This will go. Statement 1 is incorrect and statement 2 is correct. Let's consider the next question over here, which says consider the following statement. Statement 1 says in the post pandemic recent past, many central banks worldwide had carried out the interest rate hikes. Statement 2 says central banks generally assume that they have the ability to counteract the rising consumer prices via the monetary policy means. Here we have to go with option A, that says both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct, and statement 2 is the correct explanation for statement 1. So this would be the correct answer. Now moving over to the next question. Again, we have another question which talks about carbon markets. Statement 1 says carbon markets are likely to be one of the most widespread tools in the fight against climate change. And statement 2 says carbon markets transfer the resources from the private sector to the state. Talking about statement 1 says that carbon markets have the potential to become widely used tools in the effort to combat climate change. So, carbon markets, which are also known as the emissions trading systems or cap and trade programs, they aim to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions by creating a market for buying and selling the carbon allowances or the credits. By putting a price on the carbon emissions, carbon markets, they provide economic incentives for the industries to reduce their emissions and invest in cleaner technologies. This statement is generally correct, as like we are talking about the first statement, of course. This statement is correct because carbon markets have gained prominence gradually as a policy instrument for addressing the climate change. So, hence, we are going with option 1 as correct. Moving over to option 2. Talking about statement 2 states that these carbon markets, they transfer the resources to the state, and carbon markets involve transactions between the private sector and the state. Like for example, carbon markets can enable the trades between developed and developing countries, between different sectors or industries, or between companies and the state environmental authorities. So yeah, carbon markets can also create opportunities also for the private sector to invest in the low carbon projects and benefit from the carbon credits. So like that. So yeah, let's go through the options what are given. So we can say that both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct, and statement 2, though statement 2 is correct, but statement 2 is not the correct explanation for statement 1. Okay, so yeah, we can go with B, not the correct explanation for statement 1. Okay, we are going to keep it till here in this video. If you want to practice with me like this, if you want to prepare for any kind of entrance exams or government job preparation you are doing, then you can join our classes for that. All the details are provided in the description box just below this video. You will get it. And if you want to have live lectures, recorded lectures, portal access, and doubt clearing sessions and mock test facilities, then you can join our classes. That's it. Thank you for being with me till the end.